The question was, Node.js was originally created from Chrome's V8 runtime, and that's what it runs on. But if the Chrome team decides that, hey, we're going to make something called V9, what's going to happen to Node? Is Node going to stay up to date with that new engine that Chrome is doing? So there's like a whole board, there's a whole group, a working group of individuals who are responsible for what's coming to Node and what's happening with Node. In fact, there's a lot of history there, a lot of controversial history. At one point, the community split off from Node and made this other thing called IO.js, and then it came back. It's pretty crazy. There's a lot of drama there, but it seems to have settled. It seems to have stabilized, and it seems that they're actually doing really good by getting these versions out. Because for a long time, we were on version like 0.12 for years. They didn't even release version 1, and it took them a long time to do that. So anyway, I think what they're going to do is that they have a process of what makes sense to bring into Node and what doesn't, because they can't bring everything. Because a lot of the optimizations that happen in the browser are browser-specific optimizations and have nothing to do with Node, and vice versa. Node has probably a lot of more security issues that they have to work around and different things like that that don't mean anything to the browser. So I think when it comes to stuff like global JavaScript features that are independent of an environment, like modules or syntax, you can expect those things to come back to Node.js, which is why I wanted us to download version 14, because we do have some of those new syntax features. But when it comes to like environment-specific features, do not expect those to be able to be used inside of Node.js. The question was, what are the differences between version 1 of this course and version 2 of this course? Version 2 is going to be using the absolute latest version of Node, and compare that to the version 1 of this course. So much has changed from the module syntax, as you'll find out, to how you even execute different files and how you test different things. So new tools, new syntax, new execution patterns, and really just me. I've grown as an engineer since I've taught this course last, and I have different opinions. I have different ways about building things. And I want to share those with you all, and hopefully they're valuable to you. So a combination of all of those. The question was, what's my opinion on Deno? I feel like Deno has a lot of potential. I do see some of the shortcomings of Node. So if you don't know what Deno is a new runtime created. So it's a JavaScript runtime, or technically it's a TypeScript runtime that's very similar to Node.js. So it's an OS level language like Node.js, where you can build things like CLIs and servers and stuff like that. But they do things differently as far as like how you import and use packages, how you bundle them. It basically takes some of the best packages that you would have to find, research, and install yourself in Node.js and makes them available by default natively inside of their runtime, so you don't have to do that. So things like testing, things like bundling, you kind of get that for free, whereas Node.js, as you'll find out, you got to go shopping for that. You got to figure out, well, what's the best testing library? What's the best, framework? What's the best server thing? Well, Deno kind of figures all that stuff out for you, and it has a more modern approach about how to build applications, and it's benefiting off of the community and all the patterns that have developed over Node over the last 10 years. So it's just like a combination of like everything that was great about Node that the community had to make, and then let's just put it into this thing and call it Deno. So I do think it has a lot of potential. I don't think it's like, it's going to replace Node. Like Node is everywhere. Like there's so much stuff built on Node that I find it hard that something's going to come and replace it. But I do think there's room for Deno if you're going to go out there and build something greenfield, something brand new, and you don't want to go shopping for all of this stuff. Yeah, Deno could be it. The only limitation there is like what's available for you. The biggest, I would say one of the biggest features of Node.js is the fact that the community is huge. It's like a double-edged sword. It's like, yeah, you got to go find everything, but there's a lot of stuff that you can go through, and it's very helpful. So I think if a community can develop around Deno and everything goes well there's probably potential, but I would say for now, Node.js isn't going anywhere, but Deno does seem promising, and I've actually used it, and I try it all the time, and I like it. The question was testing in Node.js, where sometimes we have to test browser-specific things like the DOM in Node.js, and can we do that in Node? And the question is yes. And I know that sounds confusing because I just said there's no browser-specific stuff in Node, and that's still true. But because Node has a thriving community, people have developed mocked implementations of the DOM. They have developed virtual implementations of the DOM to where your browser-based code knows no difference. It's the same to it, so it can be executed. In some cases, it can be rendered if it's like a JavaScript framework on the server. So yes, you are able to run a lot of that stuff on the server, and at least the functionality of it. You shouldn't expect to like visually see something because that still has to be processed by a browser, even if Node is the thing that's sending it to the browser and processing it and taking a screenshot or something like that. But yes, you still have to go through a browser if you want to see a visual output. But as far as testing the logic, testing the DOM and things like that, yeah, at the end of the day, the DOM, when it's rendered, is just a string. So yeah, Node can handle strings. So yes, you can totally test DOM things in Node.js.